So are you dying to know what actually gets said in cabinet meetings?
Love
The real
to find
nitty-gritty. Yeah, what biscuits do they serve? That's always a the
most important.
Well, I'd like to know these things. How politicians really feel about Brexit behind closed doors when they don't have to be polite. Or what about the inside scoop from Strictly?
Yeah, well, former Shadow Home Secretary Anne Widdecombe is revealing what life is really like at the centre of both politics and showbiz in her new stage show.
Anne joins us now. So,
Good morning.
Anne, this is great, isn't it? Now, you've been giving talks and talking, and people love seeing you do these sort of things, but this is very formalised in a tour now, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, I do these things sort of several times a year, but now, quite suddenly, I'm doing about 35 of them in a very sort of restricted space of time.
So a proper tour?
It's a proper tour, yes.
Does that go with proper tour with riders and things like that? Anne?
Tour buses?
Do you get to demand some white fluffy towels?
I'm afraid it's nothing like as glamorous as that. No, I should be getting on and off trains in drafty stations for a start.
I think you're starting in Wolverhampton around the 2nd of February. Is that right? And what can people expect then? What is the Strictly Anne tour?
The format is that for the first half of the programme, I talk. About a whole range of things, about Strictly, Big Brother, the Victorians, whatever it might be, Parliament, writing, anything at all. Second half of the show is entirely down to the audience, and they can ask any questions, well, within reason, that they like, and I answer. And that's what keeps it fresh for me, because whereas I know jolly well what's going to be in the first half right now, I never know what's going to be in the second half. And some audiences are hugely political and they want to talk about Brexit and NHS. Others just want to talk about Anton Dubet and cats and whatever it may be. So I never know.
Is there a question that's ever totally stumped you?
Oh, yes.
Can you tell us what it is?
Yes, I was. I was once asked at one of these events by a lady who, with a completely straight face, there was a scandal going on at the time, and with a completely straight face, she said to me, "Can you explain to us why anybody would want to have an affair with John Prescott?" I still don't know the answer to that.
There you go.
Got a nice car. He's got a nice car. But that must be the lovely thing, though. Do you find sort of that are you more comfortable, Anne, talking about the personal side of things, or is it the politics that you've done?
I don't really mind. I mean, what I don't like is if we just get bogged down on one thing. I mean, I expect to do several questions on Brexit. You do at the moment, when it's the anniversary of the NHS, you expect to get several on those. But I do like a variety of questions. I do say to the audience, always at the beginning, look, if the person in front of you has been deadly serious, you can still be frivolous. Yes.
It is funny, isn't it? What an extraordinary decision it was for you to do Strictly. I mean, it feels like it really changed your retirement from politics.
Well, I understood, seemingly before anybody else did, that the day and the hour that Parliament was dissolved that year when I retired was the same day and hour in which I ceased to be a member of Parliament. I didn't have to be constrained by the considerations that governed me all the time I was in Parliament. For example, Strictly, I turned them down every year from 2004 until 2009 because I was an MP. And I said, no, it's inappropriate. The instant I was no longer an MP, I could start from a completely new base. Nobody gets this. They think that you have to carry on after retirement doing exactly the same as you were before.
We know you're still really passionate about politics and interested in it, aren't you? We've asked our viewers for some questions for you in the style of your tour. Some of them are political. So John says, Anne, what 3 pieces of advice would you give to the Prime Minister re-Brexit?
Let's do one, because we've got 15
seconds.
One?
Yeah, I think we'll do one. Because we've been Brexited out as a nation, I think. I would simply say to the Prime Minister, get on with it. Stop putting something before Parliament which isn't going to be accepted. Get on with it. But I think her problem is that her strongest bargaining chip, which is, if you don't come to a deal, we're going without, is being undermined by her own Parliament. That's her problem.
So, look, the Prime Minister likes dancing. Would you recommend she does Strictly when she finally stops being Prime Minister?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
You've got
not an endorsement for Anne, then?
You've got to be willing to look a complete idiot, and she ain't.
There you go.
There you go.
And thank you very much. Best of luck with the tour. It's lovely to see you.